Alright, lovelies. So today we're learning how to do tip extensions. We need to make sure that, oh man, I need to pause because I need to give you your magnets. 1 second, my goodness. Okay, now that I've handed out your magnets, now we can continue. I apologize for that. So make sure you have 12 of these magnet hockey pucks. That's what we call them. Okay, they do get stuck to anything metal, so they're very, very easy to lose. I always keep them in my metal container, my box of my metal tools, and I just know they're in there, and I just got to find what tool they got stuck to. So, just FYI, okay? Alright, so today we're going to start by adding a nail tip extension to the finger, but we got to prep the natural nail first. Alright, so we have our click finger. We are going to get rid of the length. Go ahead and take one of the nail tips that you have. It does not matter which one. Now, depending on the nail tips that you have, okay, it's either going to fit or not fit. When you're looking at your nails, you have a variety of nails. You're either going to have a little baggie that says F5 or like this is French 5 or a particular number, meaning that that baggie has only that size tip. Or it just could be F5 is just the number of the color of the tip, but you have all sizes in the baggie. Or if you have a box, then you have all the sizes. It just depends. So for example, in this one, this is the tip size 2 that I think I just stuck in here from somewhere, and this is a 5. This is a different tip. Oh no, this is a 5. Right, so the tip number is on the very tippy tip on either the top or the bottom. Okay? So what we want to do is we want to look for a tip that is going to best fit our finger. Okay? We'll talk more about that in just a second. Just pick one just to look at it. These are nail tips. Speaking of nail tips, let's look at the clear nail tip that we have new on our station. Now, we have used the brown nail tips. It's literally the same thing, except it's clear. Okay? So, they're over here in the bag. You can order these. They also come in white. If you didn't grab one, you can go and grab them. They're in a little baggie there. They are also different sizes. There's some small ones and some larger ones that are more wide. Okay? So, with these, they fit the same. Make sure you line up the circle, the fingers. You're going to expose that rectangle and pop it in. If it does not fit, you have to come in this little rectangle. You got to shave off the corners to wedge it in. Or if it's something as well, this is not the same brand. So when I pop it in, look, it doesn't stick on. It's very loose. This is a way, not the best, but it's how I do it. Take a little piece of sticky tack, make a little roly-poly. You're going to put the sticky tack across the rectangle, and you shove that sticky tack in, and it helps it stick. Is it the best option? No, but it's the closest to the best option, okay? Only bad thing about putting sticky tack in there is you got to go take a tweezer and pick out all the sticky tack, or else it gets stuck in there. But it's sticky tack, it's not a big deal, okay? It's the same. It has a little bump just like the other nail tip, and that's the skin. You do not touch that. That stays shiny. So, I'm going to take the big one so you can see. Okay, I have my my natural nails, right? They're a little bit long. If I come in and I say I want an extension and the nail tech does not cut my natural nails naturally are yellowish. They're not clear and they're not white. So I can put the nail tip on like this and it looks great from the top, but when I look at the bottom, that's nasty. And then if I'm eating pizza or my nails are just naturally more yellow or they're stained, it looks dirty from the bottom. So you never want length on the natural nail because it just looks gross. It doesn't work out, okay? So on this click finger, we got to cut the length. You have to cut the nail as short as you can cut it. so that it grows out nice. So for this one, we're gonna match it to the tip of the skin, tip of the finger. So you're gonna take your clipper, the small one. If you look at the clipper on the inside, there's a little bar. So you cannot come from the tip and cut, because you're only gonna get so far. Okay? So you're gonna slide in from the right, best you can, and clip. And then you're gonna slide in from the left as best you can and clip. On a client's natural nail, you should be able to go all the way through. If not, you need a bigger, wider tip cut, nail cutter. Okay? On this fake nail tip, you can bend it or you can just rotate it and it'll pop off because it's plastic, but you don't do that to the natural nail. Okay? You can take the nail clipper and clip off in the middle now that you can get through, or you can just take your nail file and file it off. Now, anytime that you're filing, if you have a brush, so that your brush doesn't collect all the dust, the brush goes underneath your napkin or your mat. And if you have any damping dishes that have product like monomer or polymer, you're going to take a napkin and cover your damping dishes, because if not, when you start to file, all those shavings are going to fall into whatever is open, and they're going to contaminate your products. Alright, so we're not going to shape the nail. We're not looking to shape it. We're looking to smooth it out and straighten it. So after you clip it, you're going to come in and you're just going to file softly just to get rid of that excess plastic, because we're working on our plastic nail. For a client, unless if you have to, you really don't do this step. Now, if your nail is too wide and you can't cut it, you have to use your nail tip slicer for the plastic nail if you can't cut it. Okay? So just file the edge just to smooth it out. And then we're going to prep the nail. Not all the way, but partially. You're going to take your buffer and I'm going to take my finger off of the stand because for me it's easier. Just like you read a book, start on the top, work your way to the bottom, go from the left to the right, and remove the shine from the surface of the nail. You are not touching that cuticle mantle area. Remember, that piece of the nail stays shiny. Make sure you rotate the nail. Use the reflection of the light to help you. Start on the top, work your way to the bottom, go from the left to the right. Rotate to make sure there's no shine. You're going to go to the side, and if you see shine, you need to get rid of that shine, and you're going to buff the side wall area of the nail on one end, and then do the same thing on the other side. Remember that nails are only so thin. You cannot go to town, because this is still, although it's a soft, gentle buffer, it is still sandpaper and you're still removing thickness of the nail. Remember that getting your nails done should not hurt. Should not hurt. Then do the tippy tip, making sure that you have no shine on the tippy tip and you smooth out that tip. We're going to go ahead and place our finger back on the stand. You're going to take your brush downward and sideways on the bottom of the nail, on the tip of the finger, brushing down, tap, tap, tapping your brush to remove that dust. Okay? Again, we're still not wearing gloves. That's next week. We're still not wearing masks. That's next week, but you should always wear that. Okay? One time, one day, you won't die, right? But a continuous exposure to these chemicals and the dust and the particles, it wreaks havoc on your health, okay? Over time. Okay, so now we have partially prepped the nail. We haven't added the products yet, but we partially prepped the nail. This is not a time for your client to be on her cell phone, drinking her coffee, eating her cookies, scratching herself, touching it. No. Hands are on the table. Do not move. Do not let them move. Some clients, it's difficult for them to do all that. So there's these little like bean bag, like the neck shoulder press that we have. There's small ones you can put over the top. They're warm, so you just put them like a little massage, if you will. And it weighs their hand down. and they can't move it. So if you have a client that has that issue, just get that for them. Okay, so now we have done all the things. You pretend we pushed the cuticle back, all of that, right? We are now going to take a nail tip, and we're going to measure to see if this size nail tip will fit over that nail. If it fits, fabulous. If it does not fit, look for another size nail tip. If my number 5 does not fit because it's too small, then I need to look for a number 4. Right? This one fits better. So if I take, this is my, what number? This is my number 5 nail tip. And I place it, when I push it down, those 2 peak corners, they like stretch out. Like it's very obvious. And you're like, nah. It doesn't even go from side to side. Is that right or wrong? That's wrong, because it's not the right fit. It's like trying to squeeze into pants that are 2 sizes too small. So I'm going to take a size 4. I'm going to press it down, and now I don't have to stretch out those tip corners. We're good, right? Okay, so let's talk about nail tips. If you can't find a nail tip, turn to your partner, get you another bag. Try to find a nail tip that works while I talk to you about nail tips. Talk to each other if you don't have one that fits. So, everybody's clear nail is a different size because there's different sizes of the clear nail tips. And everybody's got different types of nail tips on here. Kim, she's trying to get your attention up. All right, so as you're finding a nail tip, okay? Nail tips, when you go to the nail supply store, there is a whole wall of nail tips. Whole wall. Or literally a whole aisle, and you walk and you're like, oh my goodness gracious, there's all kinds of colors, because she's got green, she's got blue, she's got purple, Michaela has some glittery purple ones that are ombre, and they're white to purple, and there are zebra ones, and there are chrome ones. There's all kinds of nails. And when you go to the store, you're like, oh my gosh, I want all of them. And you start buying things, and because they're like $1 or something, you just start buying things. And you take them home, and you organize them, and then a client comes to sit down, and you put your nail tips out, and what's happening to you, some of you right now, it's going to happen to your client, and you're like, it doesn't fit. Here are some reasons why they don't fit. First of all, not all nail tips fit on all clients' fingers. Do you remember when we did the theory part where we have the nail growth and how the nails grow out, and how some nails grow out more flat when you look at them like they're going to poke you in the eyeball? Some are more flat and some are more tubular, more arched, right? Some grow upwards and some grow down, convex and concave. Remember all that? So it's super important to understand the anatomy of the nail and how that nail plate is, so that you can pick the correct nail tip for the client. Okay? Some nails, when you look at it like it's going to poke you in the eyeball, or look at it from the 2 back tips, it's very arched. And if this client has flat nails, does this arched nail fit on this flat nail? No, it's not going to fit. After you put it on, it's going to pop up, or there's going to be a hole. So that nail tip is not for that client. So, yes, have a different selection of nail tips, but don't have just one. Oh, because we use the Hey Beautiful brand. Oh, Hey Beautiful tips, that's all I use. Well, maybe you have a client whose finger isn't fit for that particular brand nail tips. Maybe you have a Mia Secret. Maybe you have a C&D nail tip. Maybe you have a Young nail tip. Not all brands fit on all people. Not all jeans fit the same on all people, even if it's the same size, because everybody is different, right? So keep that in mind. That's like the hardest thing to teach somebody about nail tips. All right, look at the bottom of your nail tip like you're going to scoop up ice cream. Bless you. On one end, the tippy tip is where the number is. On the side where you have the 2 points, there is a smile line, U-shaped area. It's thin. That is called a well, like a water well. W-E-L, right? So that is where the glue goes. And the only place glue goes, the only part of the fake nail that touches the real nail. There's half wells, full wells, we'll get to that later, but this is just at that tip of the nail. Alright, you're going to take your glue, whether you need to poke it again to make another hole, whether you need to cut the tip. If you need glue, let me know. You're going to take your glue, you're going to hold the nail like you're going to scoop up ice cream, and you're going to squeeze out a small bead of glue. The bead needs to be small because glue is very deceiving. You squeeze out a big old large bead. My glue is a little dry. I don't think I have any more in here. Let me see. You're going to press out a bead of glue. Once you put out your bead of glue, you're going to circle rotate to smear that glue all the way to the tippy tip edges. I don't think I have any glue in here. I'm going to have to cut my glue open. Once you attach the glue, let me just demo it really quick. There's glue only on that well, only on the well. You're going to take your hand and put it on the bottom of the finger and hold the nail tip on the top. Then you need to go ahead and press down to sandwich it together. So you're going to place the well only on the tip of the finger. Only that well touches the natural nail. Goes right on the edge, and you're going to press down. You have to push down. I need to get a new glue. So you guys keep pressing down. You need to press down with the fake nail and press up with the real nail. Okay? Cut my glue here. Get my nail again. Squeeze. Oh, they're so dry. Do you have glue that I can borrow? Thank you. The glue I have is from last year. Cindy, did it work? No. Kimberly, can you please? Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I know I need to order new glue. Alright, so you're pressing down and you're pressing up. Now here's the thing about glue. Hold. Thank you, Michaela. Hold and do not move, do not wiggle, do not turn your head, no moving, barely breathe. This is not a time for your client to be texting with her other hand, digging in the purse, nothing. Glue, nail glue is like lash glue. You put the strip of glue onto the lash strip, you have to wait for it to get tacky. If not, immediately you put it on the eye and it's like wiggling around because it's wet. It's slipping and sliding. You got to wait for it to get tacky. Okay? With the nail glue, you have to wait for the glue molecules to attach. If you move the nail, let go of the nail, lift the nail, try to readjust the nail, the glue is drying and it will no longer attach. Right? So you've got to put it down, make sure the nail is perfectly even, smooth, straight, centered, whatever. Press up from the bottom, press down from the top, and don't move. When you're like, okay, I think it's enough. Nope, it's not enough time. Just hang tight. Mikaela, can you do me a huge favor? Can you let her borrow your glue, please? Please, thank you. Appreciate it. Sorry, thank you. Your finger gets stuck. Sorry. That brings me to the next point. If you get stuck to your finger, to your client, it's okay. A Q-tip with acetone will unstick you. Don't pull, right? If you're still too stuck, because you'll rip your skin. You can start to let go slowly, and if you start to let go slowly and the nail does not move, hold it for 2 more seconds. And then you can start to let go slowly and just let it go. So as you're fighting through that, because I know sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, I want to explain something. Have you ever gotten your nails done with this in this way where they put nail tips on you? And they put the glue and they put so much glue because they want it to stick. That's not how glue works, people. You just need a drop. And they put the nail on there, and then afterwards, they're like taking their finger and they're like pulling your skin down because your skin got stuck to the nail. Has that ever happened to you? No. Do not do that. You are hurting the client. I have seen it to where they're sitting there and they're picking and pulling the skin away and it rips the skin and they're bleeding. Take a little Q-tip, put it in your acetone and swish sideways and it comes off. The acetone will melt down the glue and it will unstick your client without hurting your client. Getting your nails done should not hurt. Should not hurt. Okay, if it hurts, don't go to her no more. She don't know what she's doing. Or he. Okay? Should not hurt. Okay, so got our nails done. Questions? Did everybody's work? This is it. This is an extension. I now have a client that has natural nail and she has an extension. And we're done. That's it. Now there's a lot more you can do to it, but that is a tip extension. Now, we can leave the length if she likes the long length, the booger picker. Take your finger, look at it from the side. You guys have the old school nails where they are claws, right? Back in the 2000s and 19 whatevers. These were the it nails. There were no straight nails back in the day. These were it. So their claw, you can see how they're clawed downwards. Nowadays, that is not it, right? You don't see people with those. Now they sell the straight nails.
ADA attendance reminder.
So look at it from the side so you can see that downward motion. Okay, so when you go buy your nails, pay attention to the size, the length, the shape. Does it go down? Is it concave, convex? Well, what is it? Is it straight? What is it doing? All right, so now we're going to cut it. We're going to take our nail tip slicer. You should and could have your cap on it so the tips don't fly away and you got a mess you got to clean up later. I don't have it because this one didn't come with it. Mine looks different because it's different. All right, so I can take my slicer and I'm going to come in and I'm going to slice all my client's nails pinky to pinky, and then I got to go like this and they got to match, and I'm trying to, like, you know, make sure they match, and the client's like, oh, this one's shorter, and I go and I cut it, and then I try to match all of them, and then she's like, this one's longer, and then I cut it and I cut it too short, and I got to cut all of them again, and then it's, oh my gosh, taking forever, right? Maybe she has crooked eyeballs and they're straight, and you know they're straight and even, but she doesn't see that. Just avoid it. What you're going to do is you're going to take your nail tip slicer. You're going to take these little magnets, hockey puck shaped magnets, and place them on the curvature part of the guard. This is 12 magnets in length. So if I take my nail and I insert it, my nail is shorter than 12 magnets. So you can see that is a very long booger picker nail. Okay? Can't cut anything. So let's take away 6. Let's just leave 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Separate 6 magnets. Put the other magnets somewhere where you know you're not going to lose them. Remember, they attach to anything metal. So always put them away in my metal box without my metal tools. Alright, so now I have 6. I'm going to insert the finger. I'm going to slice at the 6 magnet length. Well, as you can see, that's still kind of long. So I'm going to ask my client, do you like that length? And you can take the finger off of the stand so you can get in there. Do you like that length? Yes. Okay, let's do it. If not, it's still too long. Great. Let's take 3 more out. And only leave 3 magnets. They're pretty strong magnets, although they are small. So sometimes it's kind of hard to separate them, but put 3 magnets and now cut again. So you're going to insert the nail. You got 3 magnets, and now we're going to slice. And I cut mine crooked. Okay, so you have now the length of 3 magnets. And ask your client, do you like that? If she likes it, great. That's the length. You're going to cut all 10 fingers. And she cannot tell you that they are uneven because I used a measuring tool. When I put the fingers together, side by side, back to back, whatever, they're all the same. I didn't eyeball it. Back in the day, we didn't have this. And it was such a hassle. Now, I got to make sure that I cut it straight. Right? You can fix it later. If you come in and try to file it now, because the glue is so fresh, it's going to pop off. Just leave it. You're going to file it later. It's all right. But just got to make sure you try to cut it as straight as possible. I got a little point here. Not a big deal. I'll grab it later. Okay? Okay, so we have added our glue. We have added our nail tip. We have cut down the nail tip. Now we've got to dehydrate and prime. So I'm going to take my dehydrator. I do not want my dehydrator to touch the glue. We are only doing one nail, so I know the glue is still wet, especially if it came out from the top. It will ruin your product. So I'm going to take a lot of product. I'm going to point my finger downward, and I'm going to wipe, and just let it drip to the smile line. Now, on a real person, by the time you get from pinky to pinky, the first pinky is dry and good, so you can swipe it. But I'm only doing this on the natural nail, not on the nail tip. There's no need for the nail tip. Take my primer. I'm going to load it up and point the finger down, wipe, and let it drip to that smile line. Because right now, today, I don't want it to get on my glue in there. I can get a different brush, and I can dip my brush in my containers and wipe, clean that brush. Just don't double dip. And voila, it's ready. From here, you take a big old bead of clear, bring it over from the cuticle to the free edge, and you are done. She has a French tip. It's got a perfect smile line. I've covered the entire nail. I'm going to put the acrylic on there as an overlay. I'm going to file. I'm going to buff, put my clear coat on top, and I'm done. She's out the door. She has nail tip extensions. Questions? That's all I have for you for today. If you would like to, if you have time, you can go ahead and add a layer of clear acrylic over the top of this. If not, that's fine. That's all we have for today. If you have reboot, go ahead and get started on your cleanup. You're using clear acrylic to do the overlay.